The 2023 Industrie Clothing New South Wales SuperSports Championship, powered by AusNets, is proudly brought to you by these partners.
Alex Kenny, pole position, once again in the car. Are we sure it's just the car for this?
No, it's still definitely the car. It was the first time we had new tyres on the thing, so had to make some changes because they weren't exactly the right tyres, but had an awesome amount of fun on new tyres for the first time in the car, so it's definitely the car.
Have you been on old tyres for the rest of the season up until now?
Yeah, actually it's the tyres I've been on, the tyres were delivered with the car, which was second hand, as transport tyres only, so they got their use by date out of the last race meeting. They were down to the canvas and had to find a solution for this round and have some fun. So these are currently Avons. When we bought the car, we decided to use Avon. Unfortunately, when the car was on the boat to arrive to Australia, that's when they got bought out by Goodyear via Cooper, and it's made it a bit difficult at the moment, but we'll get round it.
And of course, beautiful weather today for racing. Pretty much perfect grip-wise. How's the track feeling?
Yeah, look, it's feeling good. I was super impressed. Like the new tyres felt great on the track. The car's doing really, really well at the moment as well. So I really enjoyed some track time.
So what's the plan for the rest of the day to obviously get out front, stay out front?
Yeah, get out front, stay in front. It's going to be probably a bit easier for me today because most of my competitors aren't here this weekend. So. Look, it's going to be fun. I'm just going to try and enjoy it, to stay up front and, hopefully increase our decrease our championship deficit and work on that.
Anyone you want to thank?
Yeah, Nova Proto, Regulator Automation, my wife, my son Nico, my dad, and of course I'm a Motorsport. Phil helped me out to get it all tuned up and working nicely. And of course, just all friends and family.
Good luck for the rest of the day. Hopefully it all goes well.
Too easy. Thanks so much.
So taking a look at the track map here at Sydney Motorsport Park for the fourth round of the Industrie Clothing New South Wales SuperSports Championship, powered by AusNets this season. You can see turn 2 is where a lot of the action happens, a great overtaking zone. You make the run up over the hill through turns 3, 4 and 5, and then down into turn 6, another action zone there where we'll see plenty of passing, some locked brakes, potentially some spins as well, as it's a tricky corner to get out of, and up the hill to 7 before you make the plunge back down to the hairpin at 8, and another great opportunity to overtake or set yourself up for the run onto the back straight before going into the final complex of 9, 10 and 11 on this GP circuit here at Sydney Motorsport Park. You can just see there the track faps coming up, 3.93 kilometres, opened in 1990. John Paul Drake with the lap record for SuperSports as we head towards this fourth round of the season. Of course, the Industrie New South Wales SuperSports, powered by AusNets this year, and you can see getting away very, very well at the front is Alex Kenny, who put the Nova Proto on pole. The rest of the field sliding in behind him. Justin Tigani sitting in second place. Looks like we've got Brahim trying to go around the outside there of Sergio Perez, and a little bit of a contact between the two of them into 2. And unfortunately for them, Brahim has also gone around, so not great. And we've also got a spinner further back as well. It looks like we've got a couple of cars involved. Not sure exactly what happened between all of them as we go on board with Canavan, and you can see that the touch just causes Brahim to get a little bit wide. We go on board with Mark Brahim there. The touch causes him to go wide. He gets out in the marbles, tries to get the throttle down, just rotates the radical, brings it back around to face the right way. Taking a look with Stephen Shields here, it just looks like a little bit of contact there with Warwick Morris, and so Terry Knowles getting out of the car. Unfortunately for him, not taking any further part. He's parked on the inside of turn 2, 3. As we take a look back towards the front, it's Jonathan Canavan trying to put pressure on Sergio Perez and the number 18 Radical SR3. In behind them, the 65 of Simon Arthur, the GWR car, sitting right there as well. And they're all battling at the moment for third place, in the race. Justin Tigani has hopped off down the road in front of them. In the Tigani Motorsport car, we're taken on board with Canavan here. And you can see a little bit of oversteer there as he comes out of the hairpin. So he's trying to correct his radical, and a bit of correction needed as well for the 65 of Simon Arthur. He makes contact with the wall at the final complex. He just lost the rear of it into turn 10. And unfortunately for him, that's probably going to be stuck there for the rest of this race as the battle continues for third place in the race. Canavan and Perez line astern. A little bit of a point and a wave from Jonathan Canavan there. So he's looking to try to make the position up, doing everything he can. Talking about making everything he can, Paul Palmer down the inside in the store takes the position away from the car that he was battling with, which I think may well be Paul Royal, as we go on board with Stephen Shields in the Truck Experience car. He's now chasing down for that position. The all-white Radical ahead that he's trying to close in on and be able to chase off after Palmer. It's actually the 17 of Marcel Zalua who's in that car, so apologies to Marcel. Got the wrong number there between the Radicals, but he's lost out to Palmer with that huge move down into turn 6. But Stephen Shields sitting right in behind looking for the opportunity as well. He'll look to the inside now and see if he can do it as well into turn 6, and he does. So Zalua's losing a couple of positions in the Valmont racing car as we come around to turn 6, just not as strong under brakes into that position. Taking the replay with Shields, you can see he did it quite easily there. Got to the inside, made it work, and now Mark Brame, returning from that lap 1 spin, is on the back of Zalua as well, looking for the opportunity to get past. Unfortunately, you can see Simon Arthur just stuck on the outside of the circuit there. That car not continuing on in the race, as now Bray moves to the inside to make the move in the Industrie Clothing New South Wales SuperSports Championship, proud by AusNets, of course. Thank you to AusNets and Industrie Clothing, as well as all the other valued partners of the New South Wales SuperSports Championship for all their support. It means that many cars get out on circuit. There's some great benefits for members as well, and if you'd like to enjoy being able to race in some of these mean machines that have great aero and are incredibly quick around the back section of circuits like this one, Sydney Motorsport Park, make sure to check out their Facebook page and website for more information. As Brame gets the move down, he looks to the inside of Shields. We saw Shields really strong under brakes against Zalua into turn 6. And sure enough, Brame's been able to do it as well and gives a little wave of thanks. They know that they're not really in a race against each other here. Brame's searching to fight his way back towards the front of the field after that disappointing turn 2 problem. He looks across at Palmer there as he works his way down the inside of the store WF1 and takes another position away. So Mark Brame not wasting any time getting back through the field here as these guys continue to battle in their own little race. He'll now pull away and start chasing after people further ahead, including these two who are still battling hard for position. Perez holding on to Canavan here. And Jonathan Canavan to the inside gets the position. Let's see the replay, and you can just see a big slide for Perez through turn 5, which slowed him down up over the hill towards turn 6. He defends hard, but that means that Jonathan Canavan can get the pull back there to the run up the hill, get the switch back into effect and take the position away. But out in front, Justin Tagani picked up the victory after a DNF for Alex Kenny with a problem with the Nova Proto during race 1. He returned to pit lane unsighted by the cameras. Jonathan Canavan in second, Sergio Perez third, fourth goes to Aaron Lee on his return to the championship this round, and fifth to Stephen Champion. Race 2 for the Industrie Clothing New South Wales SuperSports Championship, powered by AusNets here at round 4 at Sydney Motorsport Park. Of course, the final race will be under lights, but race 2 into the afternoon sun, and there's contact down into turn 1. That's Champion around the wrong way. Zalua is in it as well, and I think that may well be Paul Royal going a long way off track. At turn 2, the car number 6 has also gone off. Tagani, he's had a massive lockup and dropped about 4 or 5 positions. So it's all kicked off here at the start of the race 2. On board with Warwick Morris. We'll see if we can see what develops there. And it just looks like everybody trying to squeeze into the corner. Maybe a little bit of an effect of the late afternoon sun. We'll take Steve Roberts on board as well. And you can just see the way everyone has to check up to try to keep out of it. And unfortunately for Zalua, he tried to go to the outside and just did not make it work. As now, coming around the back section, Lee sees his opportunity to try to pick up a couple of positions. This is for the lead of the race now. And those guys all fighting hard, and Tagani is facing the wrong way yet again at turn 6. So he's had dramas as they come round to complete lap 1. The safety car boards and flags have been waved. And there you go. Champion just being picked up at turn 1. So it all kicked off for the opening lap of race 2. we've got a jumbled order as we come back to the restart. Jonathan Canavan with a very, very slow restart for the field, trying to hold them all back here. Lee is looking to the outside, and just look at the Regulator Automotion car coming around the outside. Alex Kenny sweeps from fourth to first in one corner. An awesome effort in the Nova Proto, though. Canavan's not going to let him have it all his own way, and they're going to go side by side into two, and it looks like Kenny is the one who's lost out in that little moment. On board with Steve Roberts, and you can see the battle developing in front of him. He's got Brame just up there, who's continuing his charge back to the front after that race one spin. Tagani looking to the inside. I think he's spun the car in the back of the shot as he's tried to overtake Warwick Morris. Not exactly sure what's happened there, but Mark Brame up in amongst the battle for the lead as well. He's right up behind Perez at the moment. So Tagani facing the wrong way around the back of the circuit. Lee all over the back of Kenny, who's lost a bit of ground to Canavan in this opening lap. On board with Mark Brame, who's sitting in behind. Absolutely frenetic racing from the Industrie Clothing New South Wales SuperSports Championship, powered by AusNets for season 2023, as well as all the other valued partners as well. You can see the battling that these guys are putting on. It's a fantastic show. Make sure to check out the Facebook page and website for more information on the championship ahead. There's a few more opportunities to see these guys racing, and don't they just put on a show, especially in their condensed one-day race meeting format. There's a bit of a lock-up for, I'm not sure who that was in front there, but they've had a little bit of a lock-up through turn 6, so we'll need to be looking after the tyres as we come around with the 88 of Steve Roberts on board with the Jam Motorsport car. Oswide Freight supported as well. He's trying to chase down the group in front of him, not quite able to stay with them in the mid-portion of this race. So he's going to have to work a bit harder down through 1 and 2 perhaps to try to close up to Brame and Perez. Perez out of position here after that safety car moment in the race. He's got Lee, Kenny and also Canavan in front of him. So a little bit of work to do for Sergio Perez as Alex Kenny looks to chase down Canavan out in front. There he is on screen now, the number 21 car of Kenny. He's working his way to chase up. Kenny's swapped into the Juno from race 1 after problems with the Nova Proto that saw him lead to a DNF. So he's taken over the Juno for race 2 to try to catch up on some championship points and see if he can get himself back into where he wants to be, as he takes the lead of the race now from Jonathan Canavan in the Horizon Motorsport car. Canavan trying to close down the gap into turn 2, but doesn't really have much to show to the Juno. And Kenny looks like he may well be set to continue his winning ways. Another great battle. Simon Arthur keeping hold of position in front of Stephen Shields, and we're on board with Warwick Morris in the number 4 car, who almost got involved in that lap 1 fiasco at the start of race 2. Unfortunate 3 into 1 just doesn't quite work there, but these guys were able to check up and keep away from it, and now in the late stages of the race find themselves all battling for position. It looks like Morris trying to see if he can get himself past Shields. He's going to look to the inside here, and a little bit of contact between the pair of them at 2. And unfortunately, that spun Shields and pulled Morris up to a stop as well. The two of them look at each other as if to say, what happened there? Morris with the late braking opportunity looks to the inside and just doesn't quite get there. And he makes contact with Shields. Unfortunate between the pair of them. That's caused some damage to both cars. So an unlikely end to the race 2 for them. Great result though for Kenny out in front. He holds the hand up, absolutely ecstatic with that drive through the field to pick up a victory in the Juno. Behind him, Sergio Perez, Mark Brame, Steve Roberts, Simon Arthur, after Jonathan Canavan and Aaron Lee got a penalty for race 2. Final race of the weekend under lights here for the Industrie Clothing New South Wales SuperSports Championship, powered by AusNets. Round 4 of the championship. We've got a little bit of a condensed field after some of those dramas in race 2, but still under lights, no doubt going to be great racing for these New South Wales SuperSports competitors. Out in front, we've got the number 88 car of Steve Roberts hitting the lead. The rest of the field in behind him, of course, you've got Jonathan Canavan and Aaron Lee both coming through after a couple of penalties in race 2. And spinning to the side is Sergio Perez. Not exactly sure what happened there. It may well have been contact as they came out of 2. You see the onboard from Warwick Morris. That doesn't really help tell the story a whole lot. You just see Perez spinning out of the way. You may well be able to find out a bit more from the angle at turn 1. He may well have just lit the rears up a bit too eagerly in the cold conditions and spun the car to the inside. Now Canavan to the inside there takes the position away of Gray and continues his way forward. Of course, a little bit further down in the field, trying to seek out the championship points now as we go on board with Brayman there. Passing Roberts is Tigani and Canavan. So those two, the two leaders, are now set for a fight showdown under lights here at Sydney Motorsport Park as Roberts has the rest of the field lining up behind him. A great start for the 88 of Steve Roberts in the Auswide Freight Jam Motorsport Wolf Tornado. But he's got a few pretty quick cars in behind him, all looking to make the move. Brahim gets to the inside at 2. Aaron Lee is right there as well and trying to come around the outside is the 65 of Simon Arthur, who of course we saw right up towards the front of the field in race 1. And after hitting the wall there at the final complex, has had to make multiple drives through the field in races 2 and 3 as we go on board with Warwick Morris across the top of the hill. You can see Lee there coming around, and then the 68 in behind that of Terry Knowles. And he's looking at Roberts now. He gave a little bit of a wave there. He's eager to try to get past. Roberts has the straight line speed to hold a lot of these guys behind as Warwick Morris looks to the inside of, it looks like Shields there, and Aaron Lee not quite with the straight line speed. He's got a lot more pace in the corners and he'll have to fight his way back through in amongst this group as well. So the Bass Hill Electrical West WR1000 right in amongst it, and great for cornering ability, but obviously doesn't quite have the straight line pace of some of these other cars here in the late evening at Sydney Motorsport Park. Great to see racing under lights for the New South Wales State Motor Racing Championships with the Industrie Clothing New South Wales SuperSports Championship powered by AusNets. They've put on some fantastic racing all day. There's a couple more rounds to come of the season, so make sure to keep an eye out for details of their racing as we see this battle group just continue. The 88 of Steve Roberts continuing to hold the position just in front. Lee's in behind him. Warwick Morris is there as well. Stephen Champion fighting back after those dramas in race 2. Stephen Shields there in the 73, and Paul Palmer trying to buy into it as well from the back. And it looked like Sergio Perez was also coming through. So you've got a big group of cars all battling for position. Meanwhile, the leaders have swapped positions. Tagani is now behind Canavan. So Jonathan Canavan has got himself to the lead of the race. Oh, maybe a little touch there between the two of them in turn 2. And now all that Canavan can do to try to hold the position and stay in front of Justin Tagani, who we saw have brake locking dramas in race 2. So they've obviously got on top of those for the final race of the weekend, and now he's putting all sorts of pressure on for the lead of this race. Great racing from this pair. They've cleared out in front, have a pretty sizable and healthy gap to third place, which enables them to just be fighting for position. Tagani there with a switchback in the middle of turn 2, sneaks it up the inside of Jonathan Canavan and makes the position. Canavan now locking the rear brakes into 6, it looked like, so he's trying hard obviously to stay with the leader. And then we see this battle just continuing on and on and on here. You've got almost half the field in amongst it. Sergio Perez has been able to slide his way past a couple of cars. He's now looking to the outside of Morris. He's probably going to make it work around out there as well. And we go on board with Morris. Sure enough, he has. And straight to the inside to try to get that line away from Steve Roberts. But Roberts closes the door on the run down the hill into 4. And as we come across the crest into 5 and 6, Perez with a lot of work to do. A lock-up for Shields. They're obviously all trying hard here, and you could just see flames and the red exhaust glow from Palmer's Store WF1 as Perez makes the move around the outside on Roberts and clears the pack. So that will probably no doubt be frustrating for everybody else, because Perez has wasted no time carving through the pack, and the rest of them are all tripping over each other for position in the midpoint of this race. A A lot of work for the lot of them to do here, and Morris gets the position away from the 88 of Steve Roberts in the Auswide freight car. So Morris gets the inside, taking a replay. You can see he just fires it to the inside between 1 and 2, and he's able to pull it up even though he runs a little bit wide at 2. So good for Morris to get through, and we'll see if the rest of the guys can battle their way past that pack as well. So we go on board with Mark Brame, and he's got Simon Arthur behind. These pair are 3rd and 4th in the race at the moment. They've almost paired off like we've seen from the 2 leaders. They've got quite the gap back to Sergio Perez at the moment, so I don't think Perez is going to be able to catch them in the late stages of this race. Simon Arthur with not quite enough pace, it would seem, to be able to go with Mark Brame, but still goes to show that there are battles all the way through the field in the Industrie Clothing New South Wales SuperSports Championship, powered by AusNets this season. Huge thanks to all of the support that this championship gets. Out in front is Justin Tagani, who's been able to hold on and pull out into the lead against Canavan, and you can see the gap that he was able to open up at the end. 2nd went to Canavan, 3rd Mark Brame, 4th Simon Arthur, and 5th Sergio Perez. Down in the pits, we caught up with our victors for the round to get their thoughts about a great weekend of racing.
Aaron Lee, first in Class 2 for the day. How'd the car feel?
Car felt really good. We haven't been here all year, unfortunately. It's been a very long year of car repairs and testing, and first time out in the car this year racing, so it's been great. It was a good weekend, a little bit understeer, but we'll tune it out eventually, and we'll go faster next time.
How did it feel getting back into the category after a bit of a layoff?
Draining. You really underestimate how physical these cars are to drive, and that's look, it's part of it. It's all part of the fun, and back to the gym we go.
And with the error that these things have, obviously, going around corners that quick out of not doing it for a while, it must scramble your brain a bit.
It does, especially the buffeting with the wind down the front straight. My brain's been bouncing off my helmet all afternoon, but I'll be going home for a bourbon tonight and definitely relaxing all day tomorrow.
How was the racing this weekend? Was it something that you were sort of expecting?
No, I wasn't expecting it, to be honest. I can describe it as a bit desperate at times, but look, it is what it is. I stayed out of trouble. I just made sure that I finished the race, and that's all we had to do. And look, my car's in one piece and didn't touch anyone all weekend, so I'm proud of that.
Are you planning on doing the rest of the season?
This year, unfortunately, we're out. We've got to keep developing the car and building a new engine, and so we were planning on doing it, but funds have dried up, and we'll aim for next year.
Congratulations on the win, and hopefully we'll see you again next year performing as well.
Thank you very much. Thanks to Dad, Kane Alderson, for all his help, and West Race Cars Australia. Thank you very much.
Sergio Perez, a rare tie for round winner for Supersports. How did the car feel?
Yeah, car felt good. It was a hectic race weekend. There were lots of battles, and off in that last race I kind of threw it away a little bit, but it was a great weekend. Lots of passing. The guys gave me an awesome car, so happy to take home my first shared win, so it was good.
And with the wind that you had a bit out there, did you feel that sort of pushing the car around?
Yeah, I think by the 3rd race, tyres were going. Add the wind in, made it tough to stay on the black stuff, and unfortunately I didn't in that last race, but came back through the field and got the trophy, so we're all happy in the end.
And of course you're sharing that first place trophy in a way with Canavan, which is rare, but how do you feel about that?
I've only been in Supersports for 3 rounds, so 3rd weekend driving a Radical, so I'm super stoked to be able to achieve that with Jonathan, who I know has been racing for a while, so super happy with that.
So how are you enjoying the category, compared to what you've done before?
I've spent the last few years doing GT racing, so I really wanted to get into kind of Supersports to get a bit more of that door-to-door racing, and I've definitely got that, and I've got a huge smile on my face every time I get out of the car, so I'm absolutely loving it.
Great. Well, congratulations for the win. Is there anyone you want to thank?
The boys at Sydney Motorsport. They take care of me, put together a great car, and help me with my driving, so that's great. Thank you.
Jonathan Canavan, tied first for this race meet. Obviously a great result. How was it out there?
Yeah, it was different conditions for us because this round we're running the GT tyre, so we haven't had any experience on that tyre. So it's a track we know well, but we were playing with setup and tyre pressures this weekend to try and get the most out of it. The national guys ran on it the other round. And look, the times are still good. The tyre comes on quick, but it does drop off a little. So I think that was probably the biggest thing for us this weekend, was trying to manage the performance throughout the race, not just sort of peaking, early or late, but trying to sort of strategise around when to do that. But otherwise, the cool weather always brings out good car performance. It's always a buzz here under lights because, it's an amazing bit of infrastructure, and love being here in the cold and under lights. It's a long day, but we got through it, and we had a ball.
So was there a lot of tweaking to the car in between races?
Yeah, particularly from quali to race one, we were chasing a bit of front end push that we're pretty keen to get rid of, and we did sort of improve a little bit with that at race two. We drove really well there, but obviously we had an issue with the safety car, which set us back a little bit. So look, that is what it is. And then race three, we had the car where we wanted it, but we pressured it to come on early so we could get a jump. We were starting in sixth, so we got out in front, which is cool. But you got to commend Justin. He's an incredible driver, incredible racer, and he drove well in that last race.
Can we go a bit further into issue with the safety car that happened in the second race?
Yeah, look, they run a system here that is sometimes flags and lights, and we came around Corporate Hill and the sun's quite low, so you can't even see the edge of the track when the sun's sort of right in your eyes. And unfortunately, we missed the yellow lighting on the side of the track, and we passed the car in front of us, without intention, which was a shame because we didn't need to pass him in that scenario. We were quicker than him all weekend. We've got better car speed than them. In the end, we copped a 15-second penalty for that incident, which set us back and made sure we needed to share the win with that particular car. But that is what it is. That's motorsport. We came out pretty amped up for the last race, as you can expect, and and we'll bring that attitude to the last round as well. We're going to drive the wheels off it to get it home.
It's been a great drive all day. Is there anyone you want to thank for the win?
Yeah, obviously, Nathan Martin from Horizon Motorsport. He's had my back all year. He's done a great job. Probably not the easiest customer at times, but he's running his own motorsport business there with a couple of cars, and he's great because he gives the people the opportunity to come and do some test days and do some sort of try before you buy stuff, which is pretty unique, for a race team. So he's been great. Uncle T, couldn't live without him. He knows who he is, and as I mentioned earlier in the presentation, it's a special weekend for me this weekend, even if I got to share first place, because I want to dedicate it to my dad, who's been fighting his own battle and running his own race with cancer, and he's given it a lot more than I have today, kind of thing, and I'm proud of him, and I just wanted to commend him on his efforts, and if I can bring half the fight and commitment to what we do here as he brings every day to his own battle and race for life, then in my mind I'm doing the best I can with it. So thanks, Dad. Mate, keep running, keep doing everything you can, and we'll keep doing that here.
Well, we hope you've enjoyed all of the action here from the Industrie Clothing New South Wales SuperSports Championship, powered by AusNets for season 2023. If you want to know more about the championship, check out their website and Facebook page for more information. If you'd like to watch the podium as well, it'll be up right after the credits for this one. We hope you've enjoyed all of the action. Enjoy it here on Glenline TV. Bye for now.
So many years ago, I used to be a high school teacher, and on the windy days, the kids, you couldn't control them. And today was a windy day, and I couldn't control you. Dead set, out of control out there a couple of times. So we'll need to settle that down for future rounds. But thank you everyone for coming along, having a real good go, and partaking in all of the racing today. We've got all of the silverware to hand out, plus some shirts over here, courtesy of Mr. Kelly as well. So they're a large make, okay, very large make. So we go smalls, large, also medium, large, extra large. So be careful what you choose when you grab those a little bit later on. So we'll do all the members first. I think we've got about 60 shirts. Do all the members first, then leftovers. We can do pit crew after that. Hopefully you can hear me. All right, let's do the trophy race first. We'll do the last race, Class 2. We'll work our way backwards in the trophy race. Make sure my eyes work. Paul Palmer.
Thank you. It's been a long road back to get one of these. Ray Folletti has been unbelievable helping me getting the car sorted, making repairs, when it needs to repairs for a lot lately. And it's just great to put the car on the trailer after a really brilliant last race, even though it was for 11th and 12th. We had a ball. So thanks everybody.
Cool. And Class 2 trophy race, second place, Steve Roberts.
Awesome. Thanks everybody. It was good clean racing. Let's do more of it. Cheers.
And first place in the trophy race, Aaron Lee, Class 2.
Thanks everyone for coming out, and Darren for doing all the hard work, and thanks to my father Clyde for everything that he does. I wouldn't be here without you, and Kane, and of course the wife for letting me be here, right?
And we'll go from the back here. Trophy race, which is the last race, in Class 1, third place, Mark Brain. Well done, Mark.
Thanks, mate. Thanks, everyone. It was pretty wild out there today in a couple of the races, but the last race we held it all together. Thanks to Jeff and the boys, looked after the car really well, and yeah, look forward to the next meeting. Thanks, guys.
Second place in Class 1 in the trophy race, John Canavan.
I'll say something on the...
Yep. And then first place in the trophy race for Class 1, he was all the way out the front, Justin Tagani.
Again, I'd like to thank my brother, everyone at Sydney Motorsport for working on the car all day. We didn't have the best of days, but that was still good, so I'm happy. Thank you.
Great job. I got it right this time. All right, so we'll do the day now. So all the races plus quali added in. We'll go with Class 2. We'll go reverse this time. So third place for the day in Class 2, Paul Palmer.
Thank you. I've said what I've had to say.
There you go.
Thanks to Brendan for crewing for me. He's done a lot.
And second place, Class 2 for the day, Steve Roberts.
Thanks, guys. Thanks, everyone.
And Class 1, it's great to have him back, Aaron Lee. Sorry, first place, Class 2. Well done, mate.
Thanks, everyone.
Cool. All right, so for the day in Class 1, very competitive class today. Third place for the day, Mark Brain.
Yeah, thanks, guys. I forgot to thank Serge before, because if he didn't spin out in the last race, I wouldn't have been third. He tried to block me, but that's the way it goes. On you, Serge. Thanks, guys.
All right, so then we got first place and second place in Class 1 for the day. So I just quickly calculated the numbers after George did the numbers because I trusted George's numbers, but I just wanted to check George's numbers. And we had a unique scenario. So then I had to read the rules just to make sure we had a rule to deal with this. And we actually had a tie. for first place for the day. So we actually have never had that before. You can't get a tie for the championship because we say highest place in the last race, but in the day we don't actually say that. So, John, Serge, the good news is we got plenty of trophies, so we can actually organise 2 first place trophies. So, well done, first place. Tom. So we can organise it. So what I wouldn't do is cut this one in half. So what we can do is I'll swap that one out and we'll have a first place, the next one.
Sounds good.
Cool.
Cool. Thank you. Thank you, Sydney Motorsport, my team and bodyguards. And thanks, Darren. Always put on a great event. Cheers. Thanks a lot.
You're welcome. Cheers. Cool. All right. You can take that. We'll grab the second one.
Yeah, a few thank yous. Obviously, Nathan, Horizon Motorsport. Thanks for getting us through again, mate. It's always a good weekend. Just want to give a shout out to Alex Kenny. He drove the wheels off the car for race 2, I think, but he got it taken away from him. And Daz, thanks for a great category. And I want to just dedicate the effort today to my dad, who's running his own race with cancer, and this is for you, mate. You know, I wish I had a bigger trophy for you, but yeah, I was thinking of you all day, and you kept me going. So thanks for everything and getting me this far, and yeah, you keep running your race, and I'll keep running mine.
Thanks, mate. Cool. And the last award for the day is our thumbs up, which is for something memorable done in the day. So this one goes to a person who was able to put their car back on the trailer and it's still working at the end of the day, and he's had a bit of bad luck in doing that, and not his own fault in doing that. Paul Palmer.
Yeah, thanks everybody. We had a good day. It was an excellent day racing. I mean, there was some interesting moments, and I saw a fair bit of it, but we all can come back next time and we can do a better job.
Well done. Cool. So that brings us to the end of the day. Next race meeting, 28th of October. Last one for the year. So in between now and then, let me know if there's any venues you want to race at for next year. Naturally, I'll find out the latest with respect to Wakefield. But naturally, we don't just want to race here next year. So we're looking at a few different alternatives at the moment. We've been approached by the Bend to go there. But let's find out first what's happening in Wakefield. There's the Bend potential as well. But give me your feedback, because we'd like to start work on the calendar in the next few weeks going forward. So reach out to myself or any of the other committee members. Committee members, hands in the air. Steve, that's all that's here today. But feel free to give us any feedback, what you want for next year, okay? Anyway, so we'll get to the last round, and that'll be the championships awarded and all of that. So look forward to it, 28th of October. Don't forget to come and grab yourself a shirt. We've got small, medium, large, extra large. All right, thanks, Salt.